the world Pontiac was living in. To really understand what the Pontiac Can-Am was and why it matters, you have to understand the world it was born into. Because 1977 wasn't just a different decade from 1969. It was a different universe. Back in the day, you have to remember what Pontiac was. In the 1960s, Pontiac wasn't just a car company. It was a statement. It was the brand that invented the muscle car. Full stop. When John DeLorean and his team shoehorned a 389 cubic inch V8 into a mid-sized Tempest in 1964 and called it the GTO, they didn't just build a car. They started a revolution. Every other manufacturer spent the rest of the decade trying to catch up. The Pontiac GTO became the template. The Chevelle SS, the Dodge Charger, the Ford Torino GT. All of them owed a debt to what Pontiac started. And the GTO Judge, introduced in 1969, was the culmination of all of it. Ram air engines, wild graphics. A rear wing that made it look like it was going fast, standing still. It was one of the most iconic muscle cars ever built. Pontiac produced 11,098 GTO Judges across its entire 3-year production run. 11,000 cars. Today, collectors hunt them down at auction and pay serious money to own one. But here's what happened between the Judge and 1977. Everything fell apart. In 1970 and 1971, insurance companies started classifying high-performance cars the same way they classified sports cars. Premium rates, sometimes impossibly high premiums. A young guy in 1970 who could scrape together the payments on a new Pontiac GTO might find himself paying more in insurance per year than the car itself cost. That killed buyers. Then came federal emission standards. The clean air regulations that kicked in for 1971 and tightened through 1974 strangled carbureted V8s. Compression ratios dropped. Horsepower ratings plummeted. Cars that made 370 horsepower in 1970 were making 250, sometimes less, by 1973. On paper, the engines were the same. In reality, the soul had been surgically removed. And then, October 1973, the Arab oil embargo. Gas lines stretching around city blocks. Fuel prices spiking overnight. Suddenly owning a car that got 10 miles per gallon wasn't just expensive. It was socially irresponsible. The muscle car wasn't just dying, it was being buried. By 1974, Pontiac discontinued the GTO. The car that started the whole movement was gone, and Pontiac was left asking a very uncomfortable question. Who are we now? The answer, as it turned out, was the Trans Am.